Welcome back, everyone. This is the final installment of President's Ranking every legendary and mythical Pokemon. I am, of course, the one, the only Big Donnie. And joined with me today are a bunch of former presidents. You know them, you love them. Give it up for Bush and the Bozo Democrats.
Hey, what the hell, man? I'm just here to rank Pokemon. What are you getting political for?
Don't worry, Bill. Donnie is just upset that he might be taken off the ballot due to his numerous alleged crimes. Hashtag, I have no proof, but he definitely did that shit. I know it's a long hashtag, but it'll catch on. Don't you worry.
How about just hashtag, he definitely did that shit?
Hang on, fellas, let's simmer down a bit. You guys are up here at like an 11, and I need you all to come back down to earth. I need you at a 4 right now. Pokemon is involved, and we need to bring our A game for this finale.
Exactly right, George. I'll kick off this shindig.
Donnie, this isn't the 80s. I don't think you can say that anymore.
Shut it, Joe. You're loopier than a Fruit Loop. Get roasted anyways. Zeraora looks amazing. The design is great. Its stats are great. And it seems like it would have a lot of fun with a ball of yarn, which warms my increasingly frozen soul. S tier for that awesome cat-looking bastard. Moving on to the doggos and their alternate forms, I think they're all solid. However, I prefer Zacian over Zamazenta, so I will give both forms of Zacian A tier while putting both forms of Zamazenta into B tier. Sorry, Shield Boyos, but Big Donnie is packing that sword both on his back and in his pants. Boom, I'm awesome.
I know a thing or two about packing swords in my pants. So I'm right there with you, Donnie. Moving on to Eternatus and his alternate form. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know how you feel about Eternatus, but this is just not it, my guys. This looks like some sort of Digimon, Elden Ring boss reject. I'm not even a little bit aroused. I put the original form of Eternatus into D tier, and his dumb alternate form can go into F tier. I liked Sword and Shield as games, but Eternatus is a whole lot of poo-poo.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Eternatus is just... I really don't know what about it pisses me off, but I can assure you just looking at that thing makes me want to throw hands. It makes me want to open Pokemon Home and just release the little prick.
Gentlemen, please calm your jimmies. They are showing to be excellently rustled. Eternatus is not my favorite legendary by any means, but it's not that bad. Don't you think you're shitting on it a little too hard?
Too hard. Barack, they aren't shitting on it nearly enough. That thing is garbage. Speaking of garbage, what the actual fuck were they thinking when they made Calyrex? This thing looks so goddamn stupid. I'm convinced they smoked a 14-gram dragon blunt. One of the guys shouted, "Big brain!" And then they just went along with it. I mean, it looks so much better on its horse, but the thing by itself is so laughable, it actually brings down the ranking of the horses they are sitting upon. I give Calyrex by itself F tier. I give Calyrex Shadow and Calyrex Ice Rider B tier. And I give just the horses A tier. Like I said, Calyrex is so bad that it actually lowers the rankings of the horses while it's riding them, but the horses by themselves are pretty cash money. And I don't even like horses.
Wow, Joe. I gotta say, listening to you talk for a solid 40 seconds without passing out is truly a miracle. I commend you.
Commend these nuts, bitch.
Boys, please breathe in the soothing sounds of my Hawaiian voice.
Cough, allegedly, cough, cough.
Well, Donnie is clearly struggling with a cough, so I'll keep this tower falling. Kubfu is literally one of the greatest names ever created. Whoever named this Pokemon Kubfu is a living legend. Sometimes keeping it simple can really go a long way. Kubfu is more of a spiritual lesson on life more than it is a Pokemon. All that praise aside, the design is rather simple, nothing outstanding. It would go into D tier, but the name is just so goddamn perfect, I'm going to put him into C tier. As for its evolution, Urshifu, the single strike style, can join Kubfu into C tier, but every other form can go into B tier. I can't decide one over the other. They all look pretty decent in their own way, kind of like me in a cowboy hat. Doesn't matter what else I'm wearing, baby. All that matters is the hat, and don't you fucking forget it.
I could never forget how you look in a cowboy hat, baby.
What did you just say, Bill?
I was talking about the alternate forms of Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres. It's quite literally a mixed bag for me. Moltres looks like shit, looks way worse than the original rubber chicken design. I throw it into D tier. The alternate form of Articuno is inoffensive. It's a lovely shade of purple, and you will never hear me complain about a psychic flying type. However, it's just not as good looking as Articuno, so I'll put it into B tier. As for Zapdos, I gotta say they really knocked it out of the park with this design. I think the original Zapdos is a Chad, but unfortunately he just isn't as chatted as his Galarian form. I give it an S tier.
Bill, are you fucking high? No, seriously, are you high right now? How dare you put that ostrich wannabe above the OG Zapdos? I ought to get over there, give you a good old-fashioned Chuck Norris-styled roundhouse.
Shut it, Joe. If you tried to lift your leg that high, you'd probably die, bitch.
Wow, these pussycats have claws, don't they, Barack?
They sure do, Donnie. We're going to hear 2 grown men meow soon if this goes on any longer. Let's get back to Pokemon. Talk about the 2 newest ragey Pokemon, Donnie.
What is there to even talk about? Obama, look at them for God's sake. They're dog shit, D tier at best. I mean, they're powerful. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think those designs are any good.
Speaking of dog shit, what the hell were they thinking creating Enamorus? Both of these forms are appalling. They're gross. And if I'm supposed to be enamored by it, I can assure you that I am not. Just look at it seriously. Jamie, blow up a picture of Enamorus. You see that shit? What is redeeming about that? I mean, really, I'm actually angry. Be right back, fellas. I'm going to go punch a pillow.
At least he's dealing with his anger in healthy ways. I have to commend him for that.
How do you deal with your anger, Joe?
The way I deal with my anger is admittedly unhealthy. Whenever I get really mad, I just punch in the nuclear launch codes, pick a random country in the world, and just hover my hand over the button while I seethe and mauled. Last time I nearly wiped Switzerland off the face of the earth. Shit was crazy. I was tripping off that dragon blunt and locked myself in my office with the briefcase. We went DEFCON 2 and everything. Shit was wild. But then I remember Swiss chocolate and watches exist, so I forgave the Swiss people for their indiscretion.
Holy fuck, Joe. What could Switzerland have done to piss you off so much?
They've had it too goddamn good for too goddamn long, Donnie.
Okay, Jesus, there's a lot to unpack there, so I'm just going to move on. The motorcycle dragons from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are all right. I like the purple one, but the red one isn't bad either. I give them B tier. The fire goldfish goes into C tier. I don't really have any strong opinions on it. And I'm not even joking when I say this. Literally every Pokemon that is left can go into C tier as well. I just don't really care about them. But they're not so offensive as to have me hooping and hollering. Well, fellas, it looks like we finally did it. We ranked every single legendary, mythical, whatever the fuck they're called, Pokemon. I'm very proud of us.
I'm just happy to be a part of the adventure. Barack, you guys did most of the work. What say you and the rest of the boys come over to my farm in Texas and we can prance around through the tall grass just like back in our glory days?
Holy shit, I'm on my way, George. I fucking love prancing.
I do look like an angelic duck when I'm prancing. Time to stunt on these hoes. Last one to Texas is a bozo Democrat.
Can I bring Hillary with me, George?
No, you may not.
Oh, thank God, I didn't want to bring her. I'll be there soon. Big Billy with the Willie is out of here.
I'm going to go get some snacks ready, Barack. Peace out, Girl Scout. Prepare to prance, dance, grab a lance, and end up in France, baby. Woo! I am George fucking W.
If you made it this far, then I just wanted to say thank you for watching all the way through. We have more content planned for the future, and we hope you continue to enjoy the wacky adventure that we are on together. Just remember, the coochie will be with you. Always Obama out.